Manby stepped down in February after SeaWorld lost more than $200 million in fiscal year 2017. In March 2016, the company announced it stopped breeding orcas and that those under its care would be the last generation of the animal kept in its water parks. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal court on Monday ruled that the Trump administration could not enforce an updated policy barring certain transgender individuals from serving in the U.S. military, becoming the second court in the country to rule against the federal government since it unveiled the policy in March. President Donald Trump announced on March 23rd that he would endorse a plan by Defense Secretary Jim Mattis that restricts military service of transgender people who experience a condition called gender dysphoria. The policy replaced an outright ban on transgender service members that Trump announced last year on Twitter, citing concerns over military focus and medical costs. U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Kettle in Washington denied a request by the administration to lift an injunction she had issued against Trump's original ban. Her ruling followed one by a federal judge in Seattle who in April also refused to allow the new policy to go into effect. The federal government had appealed that ruling to the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration argued that the new policy, which also bars anyone who requires or has undergone gender transition, was no longer a categorical ban. Collar-Kettle disagreed and in Monday's ruling said the new policy effectively implements the original ban by targeting proxies of transgender status such as gender dysphoria and gender transition and by requiring all service members to serve in their biological sex. The American Psychiatric Association defines gender dysphoria as a clinical significant distress due to a conflict between a person's gender identity and their sex assigned at birth. Not all transgender individuals suffer from gender dysphoria. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A prison rights group protests the treatment of supervillains in the nation's magnetic detainment cubes. A local dad thought he could make it out of a zoo without buying his kids light-up shit, and a pigeon wishes just once it could complete a head movement smoothly. This is the Onion Week in Review. Millions of frustrated Americans across the country asked this week why the nation's struggling mental health system couldn't just get it together and stop feeling sorry for itself. Exasperated citizens told reporters that they had lost all patience with the ailing network's failure to perform basic tasks, such as routine mental health evaluations and emergency counseling.
Look, I get it. Everyone goes through a rough patch. Just look at the education system. I know times are tough, but things are never going to improve unless the system decides it wants to get better.
In other news, a new study finds that more men are opting to be in the room when their wife conceives their baby. An area man is unaware all of his friends think of him when they want to put things into perspective, and 36 chemical and emotional responses are activated by the phrase pigs in a blanket.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and you can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And then I'm going to have to get used to not saying the Skype username because I'm done with it. Last night, we talked about like the behind-the-scenes. Every now and then, we'll talk about the behind-the-scenes of the radio business here. And what's going on here with us.
Ian is sufficiently frustrated, we will talk about the behind-the-scenes
We are
stuff.
going to talk about how bad Skype is and how they have broken the program that once was fairly useful. Years ago, we started taking Skype calls. I don't remember how many years ago, but it was several at least, maybe even the early part of this decade. We started taking Skype calls because we wanted to give, we've got a technologically aware audience, our internet audience, the podcast listeners, the live stream viewers and listeners. These are more adept people. These are people more likely to have something like a Skype to call into the show with. And so we announced that as a call-in option, and a lot of people availed themselves of it. In fact, some nights we will have several calls come in from Skype. But not anymore. As of last night, I have kicked Skype to the curb. And I'm sure many of our listeners out there who were not Skype fans are going to be very happy because, of course, Microsoft purchased Skype years ago and have seemed to have just made it worse over time. It has the newest version has been dumbed down so much. They took out useful features. So let me explain just one feature that they've completely removed from the program. Now, you have to put effort into taking a feature out of a program, right? So like why you would do this, it's just got to be to dumb it down and make it more simple for people. What they did was they took out the ability for the user to assign the ringtone, which is what was bugging us last night. Last night we were interrupted like 3 times on the air by somebody calling on Skype because the new version, not only will they not let you turn off the ringtone, and I have looked, and we had a listener who thought that he knew how to do it because, you know, if you Google it, there's a purported solution out there.
Got close?
That doesn't work. That solution does not work. And that solution was like trying to fix it at the system level behind the scenes in Windows 10. That didn't work. So they took out the option to turn off the ringtone. One of the most basic kind of, you've got a phone app. Do you want to have the ringtone bugging you all the time? Well, if you've got Skype for Windows, now you can't turn it off. So that would have been bad enough as is. But they also stripped out the ability for you to reassign the ringtone audio card. Sounds like a small thing, and it is. For most people, it probably doesn't matter. But when you're running a radio show and or you're doing some sort of professional level of use of Skype, you might want to have your ringtone come out of a different sound card. Like we have here. We've got different sound cards in our computer. And they just completely stripped that out. So there's no way for us to get rid of that on-air ringtone without adding more hardware here and reconfiguring the studio just for Skype, and I'm not going to do it. So we gave them a lot of free publicity over the years, and during that time frame, they had a product that was useful. But now it's more difficult than ever to actually get a Skype account. So like if you wanted to go and create a Skype account, well, you've got to get a Microsoft Live account or something like that first. And that means jumping through however many hoops that takes. It's not like Discord where you can just download a program, create a username and a password, and you're good to go. So
Microsoft, I think, has a corporate team that is insane.
Okay.
So, I mean, for example, everyone is trying to get into the home assistant market, right? And Microsoft has Cortana.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And so
the lady that talks to you and you can ask her to do things.
It's like Alexa and Siri. You know, they're the home assistants. They want to get people's data and get them, get questions, get data on them, get them shopping. And Microsoft has a device that had Cortana on it in millions of homes. The Xbox and the Kinect, which was part of...
The Kinect is the physical, you can jump around and like do physical moves on video games. Okay.
They discontinued it.
Okay.
That to me is just insane. They didn't replace it. They just
stopped.
Discontinued it. The microphone and camera that allows you to talk to the virtual assistant that's still present on the Xbox and its various iterations is now gone.
Wait. So if you had the Kinect piece of hardware, it no longer functions, or it still works?
Well,
but
if
they
you
don't
have the
support
newest model of Xbox, you have to get an adapter cable, which has also been discontinued. So now, in order to get that cable, you have to essentially get it on, a third-party market. And of course, because they're so rare and not being manufactured anymore, the prices have just been going up and up and up.
So basically, they are pulling any level of current support for this product, is what you're saying.
Supposedly that they're going to add support for Google Home Assistant and Alexa, or, Echo, sorry. I probably just triggered a bunch of people's devices. But buy 10 pounds of potatoes, confirm. Anyway. At
least it's only 10 pounds.
So.
That's really crappy.
Anyway.
Okay, so Kinect is gone.
Yeah, so it's gone. And
which was the device they could have used to connect people to their Cortana.
Right. Now, it's mainly kind of useless. Cortana was not very good compared to, Google Home Assistant or Siri or Alexa, which is saying a lot because Siri is pretty bad. But it was extremely useful for the fact that where are most people's Xbox devices located?
Living room?
Living room, on probably the largest screen in the house.
Yeah.
The one thing that the Xbox was very good at was being a home theater. being a media center.
Sure.
And
Play DVD or Blu-ray or something.
So having that connected made it an extremely effective voice-controlled home theater center.
And you've done this.
Yeah, I had it. It was fantastic.
Had.
It's dead. I mean, it does not work with the new. I mean, I could spend 200
You had this on
some
a
odd-
previous Xbox.
Yeah, I had this
not
on a previous Xbox.
So what, the 360?
Yeah,
the current one's the one, right? Xbox One?
Well, there's the Xbox One, then there was the Xbox One S, then there's the Xbox One X.
But that's the
They're
newest
all the Xbox One
generation, okay.
but there are various differences between them.
But your Kinect worked for the 360.
It worked for the Xbox One.
Oh, but not the newer.
Not the Xbox One X.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Boy, that's confusing.
Yeah, right? More Microsoft genius marketing.
Yeah, at least with the PlayStation, you've got PlayStation 1, 2, 3. You know, they did make a fancy version of PlayStation 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
There's not like Xbox 360, then Xbox One. Which
There's
one's the
Slim
original?
or something like that? They have the Slim, but I mean, it's still.
So you don't
very
seem
slim.
too excited about Microsoft and their customer
I just
servicing
don't
abilities.
know what they're doing. It's just and then now the.
Well, I can show you what Skype looks like. It's dumbed down.
Oh,
I mean, the
don't
settings,
even wanna know.
the settings controls is like silly little looking switches now, and there's. It's a fraction of what it was before. So
the concern for me is that Windows now is getting into this whole DASS desktop as a service.
Meaning it's cloud-based or something?
Yeah, meaning that basically, the largest part of your desktop software will reside in your computer, but you're going to be required to have an internet connection, and they control when your computer is updated and how. And
the updates with Windows 10 are the worst part about Windows 10 because they force them down your throat.
Yep.
And
Internet went out at my house a couple of days ago, and there was nothing for me to do.
What do you mean?
There was,
Don't you have a hole you can dig?
No.
Chop some firewood. Get ready for the winter.
Agreed. Those are the things I did. But I mean, at the computer, there's nothing left to do. My address book, I can't make telephone calls to potential clients.
Right,
my
everything's
address book
online.
Everything is on there. So when
That's
I'm
a good
offline,
point. You're done.
I'm not working.
Yeah, that's true. And well, I mean, that's true for a lot of things. That's not just Microsoft, right? Like my documents are on Google Docs or whatever. So when I want to call radio stations, it used to have a local file on my computer. That's when I started calling stations. Because what I do is Daryl and I, we call radio stations on behalf of Free Talk Live. In 2002, when I started building that database, it was on my computer. But eventually, I want to work from my laptop sometimes. I want to sit out on the porch during a nice summer day or something like that. So I put everything up on the cloud. So I've got the same issue. So the good news is, bad news for Skype users. Sorry, we're not going to be using Skype anymore, so screw them. In fact, the Skype name has already been taken down from the Free Talk Live site and has been replaced by discord.lrn.fm, which not only sounds better, because Skype's also been cutting back on their voice quality, the call quality.
You don't sound sorry.
As well.
You just said sorry to the Skype users.
I'm sorry to the Skype users because it will inconvenience some of them because you'll have to get Discord or call us toll-free, 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Dinovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and join us on the radio. Take control of the airwaves here at 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Bitcoin.com. You want to learn about cryptocurrency? No better time than now to get started. You're not too late. I understand Bitcoin looks very expensive. It's hovering just under $7,000 per Bitcoin today. That seems like a lot of money. But in a few years from now, some people have predicted Bitcoin might hit $1 million or $100,000 per unit. But anything's possible. Maybe it'll fail completely. I mean, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. But the odds are the more people accept Bitcoin, the more people are using Bitcoin, the less likely it's going to go to zero. So if you want to learn more about it, go to Bitcoin.com. You can also learn about Bitcoin Cash, which is the alternative to Bitcoin that's now been around for a full year. It celebrated its first year birthday or anniversary earlier this month on August 1st. And so go to Bitcoin.com, learn the basics, and also get the latest news headlines anytime you want over at news.bitcoin.com. Once again, that's news.bitcoin.com. As we continue here, we will take your calls and thoughts about anything. We started out the show just kind of griping about how awful Microsoft has become, and I was complaining about them dumbing down Skype and making it basically useless garbage as far as we used to use it on the air, and it is done here. But then you brought up their Xbox platform, Johnson, which you say they've essentially gutted the usefulness of some of its features with the Kinect product, which was originally supposed to be, kind of like their move around thing where you could get up and get into the game sort of.
Well, it was just an interface for a lot of different things. It was a microphone, it was a camera, and it was a 3D scanner essentially that would allow it to read the three-dimensional space that you occupied and are as a human being to act as a controller.
Seems like something they would want to continue doing, but
it
apparently...
just boggles my mind that they got rid of it. I mean, I understand it wasn't incredibly popular because people just weren't really into the idea because it wasn't incredibly great in terms of controlling games using, your hand or body or whatever.
Well, a lot of that's so new, right? It's kind of
very
clunky.
new, and it's not like really combined with augmented reality or virtual reality even. And I think that they do have plans to bring some of that back with HoloLens.
Is this their VR?
Which is it's their augmented reality. So it's they're mixed. Actually, I think they call it mixed reality.
Yeah, that's where you can see the room that you're in or wherever it is you are, and it will superimpose graphics on top of the room.
Right, exactly.
That's mixed reality.
Yep. And so I guess
aliens coming out of the walls, that kind of thing.
So I think that their idea is to bring back control systems with that and that as an interface, but to just not even fill the gap in the meantime until that comes out just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
So you want to comment, you're welcome to. I was just kind of bringing that up as a technical note that, sorry, Skype users, we're not taking your calls there anymore. But the good news is we now have 3 Discord on-air call-in lines. So the issue with Discord before was, there was no issue. It sounded great. Discord always sounded better than Skype.
Better?
Oh, yeah, way better.
Sounded the same to me, okay.
Well, I'm sorry, you're not an audiophile. Skype had been definitely cutting down the bandwidth that they were using for their calls. Whereas with Discord, we can set what the bandwidth is. You couldn't do that with Skype. We can say we want to have high-quality calls. They sound great. But the issue was if somebody was sitting in the Discord room, no one else could be in the room because it's only for one person at a time. So I just made 2 more rooms yesterday. So now we've got 3 Discord lines, and I can add more as if we need more. So we'll judge that as time goes.
I find Skype easier to use if you want to make a call. So
great, you can make calls anytime you want.
Back in the day, just yesterday, you could set up a Skype account or have a Skype account, add free talk. No,
you can't have a Skype account. You have to have a Microsoft Live account now, which is different from a Skype account. They merged everything into their Microsoft One account or whatever it is, and that makes it even more difficult to get an account created than it ever was.
That may be true that it's more difficult, but nothing changed for me because I already had
an account. Yeah,
and I think most people do.
I don't know if most people have a Skype account. I should hope not, because it's garbage. Let's go on to your calls and thoughts here. We talked to Andy in Texas. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Andy.
Guys, this is great. I don't listen to you live. I don't get it in this area, but I usually listen to it the next day or a few days later on the podcast, and I'm sitting on hold here waiting to listen to you complain about Microsoft, and that's great. I have something to say about that, too.
Sure.
Another thing that they got rid of that drives me crazy is Media Center. They used to have Windows Media Center.
Yeah, where you could play
over-the-air TV.
You could play, whatever MP3s or videos you had. That program?
Yeah, and it was wonderful, and it was free guide listings for TV. But now everybody wants to go to this Netflix thing where we sign up and they track what I'm recording and sell me stuff, and they have a complete listing of everything that I do and watch and how long I spend on doing it. And everybody loves these sign-up accounts, and it just drives me crazy that Microsoft took away this wonderful thing.
So that cable television can track what you watch too, right?
Cable, yes, but not over the air. I can use
not over the air. That's
true.
I
use it over the air.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, yeah, maybe there's a way to do it.
All right.
But what I did want to call in and ask about was Cell 411. I really like the idea of Cell 411.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it and I installed it. The first thing I got to do is create an account. And then when I install the app, it says, you got to turn on your GPS so that we can send out alerts to let everybody know where you're at.
Right. For listeners that don't know what Cell 411 is, it's a longtime sponsor here on Free Talk Live, and we would promote them even if they weren't a sponsor because it really is a great activist and community tool where you can send out alerts to, let's say, friends or family members, maybe even neighbors, whoever, different groups that, you want to let people know what's going on when something happens in your life that's pretty important. So,
it's an alternative for 911. When you need help, you call 411 rather than 911 so you don't get the crap abused and out of you by them serving and protecting you.
Right, because your friends are less likely to murder your dog when they show up at your house to help you out with something. That's the idea behind Cell 411, and it actually works really, really well. So you wanted to talk about your experience with it?
Well, I don't like the idea of having my GPS on all the time. which is what this. And if you have a hotline to this, the guy that started or the tech crew with it, it'd be nice to have the option that, okay, great, I want to use it, and just say, oh, by the way, your GPS is off. Do you want to enable it now? Yes, I do, and give me the option to do that rather than mandating that I have to have my GPS on all the time.
Are you going to want to have an extra step in the way when you have an emergency situation? I think probably most people wouldn't want to do that. At least the option. Yeah.
I'm all about choices.
Sure, no doubt about it.
Have a little dialogue when you set it up that says you want to have your GPS on all the time. That's great, and here's why we promote it. If you choose not to, be aware that this will be an extra step.
Yeah.
And just click an OK button.
Yeah, I don't know the best way to send in suggestions to them, but I would imagine you can go to getcell411.com, and there's probably some kind of a contact link there if you want to, let them know.
I thought you guys would have the hookup for me or something. Come on.
Well, okay. I can't give out the hookup to you. I can't give up the hookup to you on national radio. How's that?
Fair enough. I understand.
My email is mark@freetalklive.com.
Anyway, otherwise I like it. Alrighty. Thanks, bye.
Thanks, Andy, for the call tonight. I appreciate it. I mean, for those that don't know, your cell phone's location position is always known. The cell phone company, even if you turn off GPS, they know right where you are. They have to. It's part of how the system works.
Unless you put it in a Faraday cage bag, but then it kind of doesn't work as a phone anymore.
You can't really do anything with it. But yeah, as long as your phone is on, as long as it has power, the cell phone company knows where you are. So you're not protecting yourself from anything by turning your GPS off. It might save you a little bit of battery power, maybe. More coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Angie's List has collected millions of verified reviews of local home service providers, and now they're free for everyone to read. Angie's List makes it easy for you to find top-quality service providers in your area for any type of home project. Search for a great pro in your area, or let Angie's List instantly match you to a few who can do the job. To get the most reviews from real customers, all for free, go to angieslist.com today.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything that you want. Take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Coming up, Mark, you've got an update on the crackdown, not just against Alex Jones, but apparently some other people in the, I don't know, libertarian-ish world have been targeted, because I wouldn't want to call Alex Jones a libertarian, although I know he has used that word for himself in the past. But it's Ian Johnson and Mark in the studio with you tonight. We're going to get into that.
I think he's become a real patriot.
Well, certainly since this Trump thing, he's
an outstanding American.
Yeah, he's certainly on board with the Trump train.
And against all the evildoers.
Zencash.com is where you can go to learn about Zencash, which is another cryptocurrency. But why should you care? Well, because there's, 1,000 plus, close to 2,000 probably cryptocurrencies in the world. Why does Zencash matter? Well, it's because it was founded by voluntarists, by people who agree with liberty, people who understand the non-aggression principle, people who understand economics. So the founding philosophy is solid there at Zencash.com. In fact, you can actually read their white paper, which talks about voluntarism in the white paper on Zencash. But they've also got some of the best technology out there, like zero-knowledge anonymity. So if you care about privacy, you really need to look into Zencash. They've got over 13,000 secure nodes, which means Zencash is one of the most distributed, secure systems in place in the world of cryptocurrency. They have more secure nodes in the Zencash network than Bitcoin does in their they call them full nodes in Bitcoin. And the secure nodes in Zencash actually get paid, unlike the Bitcoin full node. So there's actually an incentive to want to run one of these things. So go and learn more about it. You can also learn about their new super nodes, which will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that'll be layered in the infrastructure. Go to Zencash.com. Their official Zencash wallet is available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Again, Zencash.com. As we continue, we will take your calls and thoughts about what you want. So we did have somebody on the line, dropped off. We do also have the Discord call-in line rooms, which are available to you at discord.lrn.fm. So what's the latest development here, Mark? Yesterday we talked about Alex Jones being targeted by Facebook, by Pinterest, by YouTube, and I think it was Apple iTunes. iTunes delisted his podcast from search results. Facebook took down several of his Facebook pages. And all of this over not fake news, according to Facebook, but over some posts that were made, which they say were insensitive towards apparently certain groups of people. That was one of them?
That's the first thing they say about libertarians every time. I'm not saying Alex Jones is a libertarian, but he's got some libertarian leanings on some issues.
Well, they specifically cited immigrants, so had he been an actual libertarian, he probably wouldn't have been talking trash about immigrants.
Look, do you know what he said about immigrants?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Facebook did not cite that.
So, I don't know what he said
But we know what he says on the air about them.
What?
He's in favor of building, the wall and
He's
stuff
in
like
favor
that,
of
right?
a wall, but is that insensitive?
I'm sure that goes along with insults. If you know.
Are you going to ban everybody from the Discord, Free Talk Live's Discord, who says we should build a wall?
No, we don't ban people from the Discord for that stuff.
Okay, great.
But we will ban you for racism.
Fine. So
pretty much nothing else will get you banned from the
Discord. The thing is that I can't
spam. You're not doing.
I can't find out what Alex Jones said.
Yeah.
Well, I saw something about it. It was.
What is it?
He was basically saying transsexual people should burn.
Okay.
Yeah, they did cite transsexuals.
If you're a Christian, you believe that already.
Okay, well, apparently that's not welcome on the Facebook profile. And they said that was a violation of their, code of conduct. And so, again, these companies are free to have whatever sets of rules they want to have.
Absolutely. You could be a tyrannical jackhole on the internet if that's what you want to do. But when you control the half of the internet, expect me to have an opinion about it.
You're welcome to have an opinion about it.
My opinion is Facebook is a dangerous organization. They're just too big, and when they begin, when they start with shutting down, first they come for Alex Jones, then they go after Anarchy Ball, then they go after
Anarchy Ball's a Facebook page.
Anarchy Ball is a web comic that started through Facebook, and
it's fairly offensive a lot of times, right?
If you don't believe in the ideas of liberty, you better be darn sure you're offended. People are offended by libertarian thought. It's offensive. It is unfair to marginalized groups.
Yeah.
It is all kinds of
Actually,
stuff.
that's not true at all.
Anarchy Ball essentially targets socialism and commies.
Yeah. It's libertarianism is actually in favor of marginalized groups because we want the government to get out of people's lives, which means that minorities will actually have the ability to create wealth for themselves instead of having to beg government bureaucrats.
But a socialist says, why do you want to rob the old people and the poor people and the ethnic people of all the stuff that we've given them? We've finally drugged them up from the cesspool, and now you want to shove them back down, you nasty libertarian.
They get it all for free.
That's the first thing they do every single time. When I'm sorry, your race card's been declined. Do you have another argument? I mean, if you don't come up with some... Alex Jones has been accused of being racially insensitive or whatever. I need to see it. I need to know more. Okay. And at this point, as far as I'm concerned, the idea that 4 large web platforms...
Now, you said there were more.
In one day, and then 2 more today, MailChimp and LinkedIn...
MailChimp is
7 large platforms in 2 days ban Alex Jones. This is not a coincidence.
No, it's
Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not so stupid as to believe the story that they said. Their lying, seething butts said that, this was just a coincidence. Am I that kind of moron?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a coincidence. Whether they all worked together to coordinate it is another question, but certainly it's a pile-on. At the very least, this is like one of them did it, and the rest of them said, "All right, let's go," and then they did it
darn quick.
They jumped on the bandwagon, basically.
So I'm supposed to not believe. I should not believe the story that it's all a coincidence, but I should believe the story that he's been racially insensitive.
Oh, I don't know what you should believe.
I've stopped believing.
Yeah,
at this point,
I don't know.
I have ceased believing the censors, the people who are not interested in some level of free speech out there. Look, I don't think that I hate the 2018 America where Silicon Valley has driven me to defend Alex Jones.
Well, I mean, you should defend those who say offensive things if you are in favor of free speech. However, we also have to defend these platforms' rights to have rules on their platform. It's their platform. They're the ones who built it. They're the ones, and now arguably they built it on Alex Jones's content. I mean, Jones drove people to that platform and they signed up for it or whatever. So ultimately they kicked him to the curb, sort of in the same way that Amazon kicked us to the curb after we, sent them however many hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales, and they just decided they were done with us, and they canceled our Amazon Associates account.
Well, don't expect to be on Facebook tomorrow.
Oh, I quit Facebook in
I understand.
January.
You aren't on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're on Twitter anymore either,
No,
are you?
I'm on Twitter.
Okay. Well, yeah. All I do is
No. My tweets were disconnected from Facebook, and I didn't want to spend any time to try to reconnect them.
I see.
I've announced that I'm completely no longer no other updates will come to my Facebook page, so they're done.
I understand that you're not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live uses Facebook to communicate with listeners, and we have a pretty active Facebook page.
Yeah,
you can find it at facebook.freetalklive.com if you want.
Still there. Yeah.
If it is at this moment.
Yeah.
I'm on it right now, but I don't expect to be tomorrow.
Sure, they banned us once for putting a picture of some not even topless women, but some bikini-wearing women.
Bikini-clad women. We shared a page, the Facebook page for the Gold Coast Meter Maids.
That's right.
Because we were talking about, feeding meters. And they literally, somebody complained about that. And Facebook, whatever mind-numbed, mouth-breathing dullard they have working at Facebook, decided it made sense to, ban us for sharing a Facebook page on Facebook.
Okay, so Jones got hit, you said, by LinkedIn today?
LinkedIn and MailChimp.
I've got some of the quotes if we want to go over what
quotes
he said.
From what? Facebook?
From Alex Jones. What he said that got him banned.
Allegedly, according to
pinknews.co.uk.
Pink News, which is a lesbian site?
Gay, LGBT.
Okay. We're coming up here in moments. 8:55, 450, free. Like freedom, you can join us. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free, take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype at Skype username L. Oh, wait, no, we don't. I'm going to have to get out of that habit. So be sure you give me a good verbal spanking if you catch me doing that again. Skype's done for. We broke up with them.
Discord.
.lrn.fm. And that'll get you there. And Discord is available across different platforms, so you can get it for your phone, you can get it for Windows, Linux, Mac. So super easy to get on board with Discord, and it sounds great. In fact, we got 3 available lines for you there as
Every time
well.
you say Skype, you have to do a shot glass of hot sauce.
Why?
That's because that's what Daryl wanted me to do for, I don't know, the thing about the YouTube video. It's like that's a solution for a mistake in adulthood.
I'll pass on that. But let's go to your calls and thoughts. Go to Quantez, calling from Atlanta. Quantez, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't really know about Bitcoin very much, but a friend was telling me that I should get it to help me with my business and stuff.
Do you know about them French fried potatoes?
Well, I think that Bitcoin can help people with a lot of things, whether it be accepting it at a point of sale, at a physical location, or just as an investment, something that could grow in value over time. There are a lot of different things that you can do with cryptocurrency. I'd recommend checking out Bitcoin.com if you want to get kind of the basics on Bitcoin. But if you have a question, we're happy to field it for you.
What I mean, you guys seem like experts on the situation, But
I mean, for radio, I would say for radio, we're experts. Like, we're not actual experts when you compare us to the people in the Bitcoin world, like the people who really, really know their stuff, the geeks. But compared to every other talk show host, we would qualify as an expert, I think, for that. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering, do I go get it at its physical location or what?
Good question.
Yeah, so if you go to Bitcoin.com, they've got some GIFs there, some little video type things that'll help you to get an app, which they call a wallet, that'll help you to store Bitcoins. You can buy...
I already got a wallet.
Excellent.
Okay, great. Then you can buy Bitcoin there if that's what you wish to do.
You mean through Bitcoin.com?
Through Bitcoin.com. There are other ways to do it. You could go to localbitcoins.com if that's what you want to.
But
it's cheaper.
Personally, I wouldn't recommend local Bitcoins just because there's risk involved. There's a site called uphold.com that'll sell you Bitcoins. If you have a bank account, you can connect that directly to them and then just order the amount of Bitcoins you want, and they'll just pull the money from your bank account.
The easiest thing to do is just to go to Bitcoin.com, though.
There's also cryptocurrency vending machines, and if you're in Atlanta, I'm certain they have them there. In fact, I believe there's the Atlanta Bitcoin Embassy, which I suspect has one of them there. I've not been inside the Atlanta Bitcoin Embassy.
We were invited for the grand opening, but we
had some sort of conflict.
We
I think
were
it was
at the
Fork Fest, yeah, at that time. So maybe check out...
I would rather not keep Bitcoins in my wallet. I would rather put it with the Millie Rock in my stock.
On the what?
The Millie Rock in a start.
I would rather put it in my stock,
in your
because in case I get jumped or something. I mean, I always keep my crack in my sock, in case I'm getting jumped or something.
Well, you can't really put your Bitcoin in your
I wasn't
sock.
joking.
Yeah. No, I don't. don't know if you were or not, but either way, you can't put your Bitcoin in your sock.
You need to carry a sling blade for protection.
Yeah. Hey, Quantez, we can't help you. We can't help you do anything if you are admitting to doing illegal things. But thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it.
Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. That's who he sounded like to me.
Is that right? Okay.
Like this from the movie Sling Blade.
I thought he was trying to do like a black crack dealer.
Well, that's what he was. It was just a terrible impersonation. It sounded more like Sling Blade.
I don't know anything about
Billy Bob Thornton from Sling Blade.
But I know that
it's a fantastic movie, actually.
But at the very least, 8.5 years of prison taught me that you carry your crack in your mouth.
Him's just a boy. He ought not to do the crack like that.
Mm-hmm. You carry crack in your mouth?
That's my understanding.
In like a plastic baggie or something?
No, in your mouth.
To transport it around in prison? Is that the idea?
I don't know that I ever saw. I never saw crack in prison. No, I mean, they spend their time getting weed in prison.
So you're suggesting that they would carry crack in their mouths outside of prison?
The suggestion is that they would, that's how it's done.
All I know is that plumbers need to pull their pants up because crack kills.
What's the benefit of carrying crack in your mouth?
Why are you asking me about how to carry crack?
You're the one who brought it up.
I said that you carry it in your mouth because that's what I was told.
I don't know. I think they were just lying to some cracker.
They could
be. Know, man. Have you ever...
I do not appreciate your racial epithet. Why is it you think you can get away with the word cracker on the air?
Because it's about a white person.
Because you're from Florida. You're a Florida cracker. But anyway.
You don't call black people from Florida crackers.
I'm talking to you. Right. Are you black?
Well, it sounded like Obama there for a second. I'm talking to you. Anyway, I wasn't talking about anybody else. I'm talking to you.
I don't know really anything at all about crack. But I have,
it doesn't seem like a good idea now that I articulated to put any kind of drug mixed with other
No, it's not a good idea.
In your mouth,
if you're a dealer, I don't think you're going to want to be carrying around your crack in your mouth. Further, I know about MDMA, which is also known as ecstasy on the streets. I've had that in my mouth before, and it's nasty. These are chemicals, and they are very unpleasant, and I suspect crack is also very, very unpleasant.
Isn't MDMA taken orally?
Most things that you put in your mouth are a chemical.
Yes.
Yes.
It is taken orally, Mark, but usually you swallow it immediately. You don't just carry it around in your mouth.
Same is true for aspirin, I suppose,
right?
It's
disgusting.
I mean... which is also a chemical derived from the bark of the willow tree.
All of your food is made from chemicals.
Yep. Let's go to the phones.
Every last bit
water,
of it.
in fact, is a chemical.
Let's go to Matthew in California. You're on Free Talk Live, watching online at cam.freetalklive.com. Hello.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking my call. I don't know where to go after that. Thankfully, I had everything written down because I'm high, and if I hadn't, I would not be able to get back to where my thought was going to go. Okay.
I like a good, well-planned stoner.
Okay. So, going back, I'm so glad I called in tonight. Normally, I've been dying to talk to Ian for years about vegetarianism and the non-aggression principle, but you guys got me even on a better topic tonight, talking about racism within the libertarian movement.
Okay.
I've actually been even dying to talk about that even more.
All right.
I don't know what it is. I'm a black guy, and I consider myself a diehard libertarian because, we black people, the black community, is one of the most anti-government, most small government people you could ever find. But we can't seem to ally with the liberty. And don't think I'm talking about you, Mark, or you, Ian.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
I know.
I love you guys. I've been watching you guys, listening to you guys for 12 years. You guys have got me through some bad times. Thank you. But that said, I'm not talking about you, but within the libertarian movement, there seems to be a racial divide, which I don't understand. In Ferguson, you would think, I've heard so much about the Oath Keepers and all this stuff and how they're so pro-liberty, but they showed up to Ferguson on the side of the police, not the protesters.
Did they?
They were on the side of big government. Ron Paul, for example, I gave him a pass on that first racist newsletter he had from the 60s or 70s, whatever. Fine.
I think it was from the 90s, but
okay,
all right.
Cool.
The one that was allegedly written by Lou Rockwell?
It wasn't, though.
Right,
they discovered who it
right.
was.
Oh, really?
Right. I'll give you a pass. Fine. I'm still your supporter. I'm still a big Ron Paul fan. Until and then he gets another one out. And it's like, come on.
What happened now?
You didn't see the latest one? Like,
no.
Within the last month, he put out this racist tweet, and it's got this black guy stereotypical.
Oh, you mean the one? I know which one you're talking about. Somebody called in about that. Then later he came out and said he didn't control his Twitter account, and that person was somehow punished.
The cultural Marxism tweet is what that was.
Yeah, so that wasn't Ron Paul. I mean, Ron Paul's not actually tweeting, right?
Let's talk about what the meme said before we go ahead and go any further. People want to know.
It was a comic.
It was a comic with some racial...
I know what a meme is, thank you. A meme, sort of a web comic.
It had that kind of classic racist drawing of a black guy and a Jewish guy and like
a Chinese
Mexican
guy and that sort of thing, and basically saying, watch out for cultural Marxism, and then, that sort of thing.
Yeah. They're punching Uncle Sam.
Yeah, that's right. All those caricatures were punching good old Uncle Sam, whom libertarians generally hate, but unless it happens to be the colored folks going after them, in which case, oh my God, I can't believe they're ruining our way of life. Yeah, it was a nasty looking little picture, and I mean, like, to some extent, I can be like, oh well, I kind of understand what they're saying, but. Man, somebody should have a better filter than that.
Right. You can't ask me to trust you to be the leader of the free world, and you can't control your Twitter feed. I mean,
hang on a moment here. I mean, let's talk about this here, because Ron Paul's not tweeting. He's got people, right? And so how much control are you supposed to exert over the people who you've entrusted to do something for you? You can only take it back, which is what he did. More coming up.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Silver's trading at $15.44 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,214 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $24, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,101. Antiwar.com reports, speaking on Fox News Sunday, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton denied that the U.S. government had at all been involved in the reported Saturday assassination attempt in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas. There were conflicting reports on what happened, but the government reported 7 National Guard soldiers were injured by a pair of drone-like devices that carried explosives. They believe this was a failed attempt to assassinate Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was unharmed. Firefighters at the scene said there was no attack at all, and they explosion was from a gas tank inside an apartment near the parade. Maduro had blamed the Colombian government for the attack and arrests were made. Bolton said it was a pretext set up for the regime itself or something else, covering all possible bases. He added that if Venezuela had any hard information of U.S. involvement, the administration would take a serious look at it. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports after half a decade of declining attendance since the release of a controversial documentary, Blackfish, SeaWorld's troubles might be over. The company announced on Monday a near 5% jump in attendance in the second quarter. In addition to the 4.8% jump in attendance to 6.4 million people, SeaWorld said Monday total revenue increased by $18.2 million or 4.9% in the second quarter. Net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Interim CEO John Riley said the results were driven by our new strategic pricing strategies, new marketing and communications initiatives, and the positive reception of our new rides, attractions, and events. The company has come under fire in recent years after Blackfish offered a critical look at the amusement park's treatment and breeding of its famed killer whales, or orcas. CEO Joel Manby stepped down in February after SeaWorld lost more than $200 million in fiscal year 2017. In March 2016, the company announced it stopped breeding orcas and that those under its care would be the last generation of the animal kept in its water parks. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal court on Monday ruled that the Trump administration could not enforce an updated policy barring certain transgender individuals from serving in the U.S. military, becoming the second court in the country to rule against the federal government since it unveiled the policy in March. President Donald Trump announced on March 23rd that he would endorse a plan by Defense Secretary Jim Mattis that restricts military service of transgender people who experience a condition called gender dysphoria. The policy replaced an outright ban on transgender service members that Trump announced last year on Twitter, citing concerns over military focus and medical costs. U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Kettle in Washington denied a request by the administration to lift an injunction she had issued against Trump's original ban. Her ruling followed one by a federal judge in Seattle who in April also refused to allow the new policy to go into effect. The federal government had appealed that ruling to the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration argued that the new policy, which also bars anyone who requires or has undergone gender transition, was no longer a categorical ban. Collar-Kettle disagreed and in Monday's ruling said the new policy effectively implements the original ban by targeting proxies of transgender status such as gender dysphoria and gender transition and by requiring all service members to serve in their biological sex. The American Psychiatric Association defines gender dysphoria as a clinical significant distress due to a conflict between a person's gender identity and their sex assigned at birth. Not all transgender individuals suffer from gender dysphoria. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review, pushed to the breaking point after constantly being taken to task without ever hearing a word of thanks for what it does around here. An overwhelmed and infuriated nation announced Wednesday that it was trying, okay? Jesus Christ. A poll of the American populace revealed that 33% felt they were doing pretty damn well, all things considered, while another 28% just wanted 2 measly minutes without somebody breathing down their damn neck. A group of female friends spent a raucous night on the town Thursday validating the living shit out of each other.
You're the most talented person I know.
Eyewitness reports say the women absolutely went to town on a session of non-judgmental reassurances.
Last night was crazy. I don't even remember half the uplifting things I said to Karen. We've always been the kind of group that listens hard and consoles even harder.
And in other news, a group of semester at sea students steal an anchor for their dorm room. A 5-year-old wants to be an overworked Haitian nanny when he grows up, and every group of friends at a karaoke bar ruins every other group's night.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want. We're launching into the second hour of the program. Still to come here more on this crackdown against certain opinionated people on the internet. I guess that's the better way to put it. I don't want to call them necessarily libertarians, but we're concerned with it because, well, you know, some of these platforms are very big, and there's a lot of audience out there, and they're just cutting people off left and right, in some cases for some very clearly hypocritical reasons. And Johnson, you've got a story about that on the way. But your calls and thoughts come first. Ian Johnson and Mark in the studio tonight. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. If you want to sound better, you can connect on our Discord chat, where
I was just going to say, I also have the reasons why they kicked off Alex Jones, and that I'd like to cover first, and I don't think that those are so hypocritical.
Okay.
I think those are pretty much in keeping with their policies.
So we'll get into that here, because, Mark, you said you wanted to hear what Jones ostensibly said in order to get disconnected from Facebook and YouTube and a few other platforms now. Just within the last 48 hours or so, he's been cut off of at least 6 different platforms, including MailChimp, which is an email list client. So we're going to get into that still, but your calls...
The great web culling has begun.
Your calls and thoughts. We go to, back to Matthew in California, who was concerned with some of the purported libertarians being racist out there. And you brought up Ron Paul. He had a newsletter that apparently was authored by somebody else who was not him, but of course it bore his name. And so he got a lot of heat for a newsletter that came out, I think it was in the 1970s.
No, it was, I think, the 90s.
Oh, was it the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was 20-something years ago. And so, you said you gave him credit for that one because, he wasn't ostensibly involved in it. And then you cited the most recent offensive Twitter post made on the Ron Paul Twitter account, which, as we pointed out, Ron Paul has disavowed that and ostensibly punished the person who was involved in posting that to Twitter because, once again, Ron Paul, he's got people for these sorts of things. He doesn't do these Twitter posts on his own. So what was your response to that? Because we just sort of barely got to explain that to you in the last segment.
Not that I think that Alex Jones is a libertarian. Not that I think Chris Cantwell is a libertarian. Not that I think Mark Whittaker is a libertarian. But what is it about the Libertarian Party that attracts those type of people?
Free speech.
Libertarians. Because if they were true libertarians, you can't be a true libertarian and then want to use the power of big government against other people.
Yep.
And you're a fake libertarian.
Right.
But it seems to attract those kind of people, and libertarian could be such a bigger party if we all came together and didn't look at skin color and look at our objectives, look at our goals, look at our shared value, not shared values. I'm missing the word I'm looking here for because, again, I'm high. And thank you for that long break because it gave me such a long time to smoke my bomb. I really appreciate that.
The first, so Ian, when I was, this had to have been 2004, right, Ian?
What?
When you took me to a libertarian candidate's speech. I think it was Michael Badnarik speaking in Tampa.
I don't recall.
For a presidential run. I can't even remember who it was. But
news to me. I know I went to see Harry Brown. I went to see Harry Brown in Tampa in the year 2000.
Was it under a pavilion?
This doesn't ring a bell to me at all.
Okay.
Are you sure it was me?
Well, Ian, I don't go to libertarian candidate speeches.
I don't go to Tampa.
Well,
when I was in Sarasota, I almost never went to Tampa.
When I say
I'll take your word for it. So I'll take your word for it. Okay, let's go on.
There have been some, efforts to reach out, as it were, and it's really difficult. the one time that I've been obviously doesn't mean the sum total or whatever, but in many cases we're all sitting over here like, how come the black kids won't play with us? And then over there it's like, because y'all some sketchy mamma jammas, that's why. What has to happen for any ethnicity that has been treated badly and vilified and treated just as many bad things as happened to black people throughout the years, is you have to have this sort of hyper-vigilance listening, because if you didn't have that listening, you'd end up in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time of day and get the crap beat out of you. You gotta know what people are saying before they're saying it. So the nuance, I think, in many cases passes by these ultra-logical libertarian types, and when they talk about issues, sometimes it sounds boorish and insensitive. And I'm not making excuses for Cantwell. I'm making excuses for actual libertarians here. So, I mean, that's my best explanation for it, Matthew.
I appreciate it. I'm not going to hold you guys too long there, but before I go, I'm watching you guys on the live stream. Like I said, I've been watching you guys for 12 years, and Mark, I've seen you getting a little bigger. So I'm going to recommend something for you. It's called Kratom. It's a appetite suppressant, and it stimulates. But go to Kratom. Yes, I see the chin.
You talking about Kratom? Kratom?
Yes. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. John Bush was on with us from Anarchapulco, I think, talking about that.
Yeah, there's some red kratom and white kratom. I got some red kratom from Bush at.
You've tried this stuff?
Yeah, and it kind of gave me a headache. So I probably. But I can tell you this: I've started intermittent fasting. I was doing a jiu-jitsu event last weekend, and so I didn't want to lose too much weight. But this intermittent fasting has gotten it so that now I've got control. As soon as if you team up intermittent fasting with a keto diet, the pounds will fall off. I think I'm more worried about my white hair. I feel like I've got my weight under control. I'll be back down to 185 soon. I do appreciate you looking out for me, though, Matthew.
Matthew, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to Parker. He's in Washington State. Parker, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Oh, not a whole lot. So I have this idea that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of risks that are going to go along with this idea, and you're going to see why in a minute when I start to tell you guys about it.
Okay.
So, obviously, you are familiar with cop blocking, or some of the listeners might not be familiar with it.
Cop Block is a mostly defunct national organization that for many years was at the top of its game, advocating for people to hold police accountable by recording police incidents, and its founders, Pete and Ademo, had gotten arrested a few times as they were going about holding police accountable, and they really did put their money where their mouths were and stood up for freedom. Go ahead, Parker, with your thoughts.
Well, what I have, the idea that I have is, and I don't recommend that everyone do this. I think that only those who are willing to put some considerable risks on the line should do this. And but the idea is, if you see a cop engaged in a police stop, go past the police stop, pull over to the side, and then what I do is I have a camera that is over my my rear view mirror. Two cameras, one facing the driver's side door, one facing the passenger side door.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got a dash cam.
Right. So from there, I'm thinking of, I haven't done this yet, but I'm thinking about it. I want to get your opinion on it. I'm thinking of getting some bulletproof equipment, like bulletproof vest, bulletproof face mask, bulletproof baseball cap. And the idea, just hear me out.
Okay.
The idea is I live stream via Cell 411, and I take or attempt to take a document to the driver, which
hold on, just to clarify. Is this while you're wearing a bulletproof mask and vest and bulletproof everything? You're going to walk up to the driver's side?
Yeah, you're going to walk up there looking like Boba Fett. You're trying to...
Hold on. Let's analyze this here in a moment. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. It's a while
to get shot.
Yeah. Well, he'll be wearing bulletproof everything. More coming up here in moments. 855-450-FREE like freedom. We'll do a little critique of this coming back. It's Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999, and ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial on in, toll free if you want to join us on the radio waves. Our toll free number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Discord, the Discord on-air call-in lines. There's now more than one. There's actually 3 of them available to you at discord.lrn.fm. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And the us in that studio is Ian.
And Johnson.
And Mark.
Hey, I want to make sure you know about AnyPay. If you are in the world of retail, if you've got a physical location, and let's say you're a manager or an owner of a retail establishment, you want to know how to accept cryptocurrency at your point of sale, it couldn't be any easier than it is thanks to the folks over at AnyPay.global. And we know those guys. In fact, Derek J. Freeman, if you're a longtime listener of the show, he's one of the 2 principals at AnyPay.global. They'll let you accept Bitcoin, Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, and more at your point of sale. It is super easy to do. If you've already got a tablet at your register, you're halfway done. You go to AnyPay.global, sign up, use an account name, a password, and you're in the system. And then you just put in your cryptocurrency wallet addresses in the back end, and then download the app to your tablet device. That's it. You're good. You're good to go. We're talking about it. Maybe if you've already got your own crypto wallet, and you don't have to download a wallet to set that up, maybe 10-minute setup time, and you're all set. AnyPay.global. Head on over there to get started. As we go back to Parker in Washington State, Parker's always got some sort of idea he's cooking up, and he wants to run it by us here on Free Talk Live, and he's cooked up a particularly dangerous-sounding idea for cop blocking, which... And please correct me if my retelling of what you said is inaccurate, Parker, but you said you want to have cameras in your car. You want to be outfitted personally with bulletproof, you said vest, and like some kind of face covering?
Bulletproof vest, bulletproof bandana, and bulletproof baseball cap.
So I don't know if I've not looked into bulletproof items beyond vests. I don't know if they have bulletproof bandanas or baseball caps.
The baseball caps exist.
All these things. They exist.
They do exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that there's a mask out there that looks like, there's a couple of them. One looks like the old Jason Friday the 13th hockey mask kind of thing without the holes, obviously. And another one that looks... Go ahead.
The ones that I've seen from Bullet Safe, the 3 items in question, the baseball cap, the vest, and the bandana, cost about $553, I think, not including shipping and tax.
So would you wear the bandana over your mouth, kind of like, to cover your face? Is that the idea?
Yeah, the idea is, because let's face it, if you walk up to a police stop, or if you're dealing with the police at all, the police have a greater likelihood of shooting. Now, not every encounter with the police ends up in them shooting.
They also will have a greater likelihood of shooting if you look like you just robbed a bank and you're like, you remember the, I don't know, this is probably before you were even born, Parker, but back in I think it was the late 90s, there was that LA bank robbery, remember, where those dudes had like AK-47s?
I think I've heard about this. The guys that had the fully personalized body armor, and they both had
if
AK,
you pile out of your car, if you roll up on just your standard police stop and you pile out of the car wearing everything
looking like you're on the bomb squad,
right, and then you start making a move towards the scene, that's probably not going to go real well for you,
especially someplace where like here in New Hampshire, especially Keene and these sorts of places, they've dealt with Free Staters and other sorts of weirdos documenting their activities for more than a decade.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They're a little less likely to plug you 3 times center of mass, right?
Well, if they plug me 3 times center mass, I've got a bulletproof vest.
You've got some broken ribs, and you're going to spend some time in the hospital.
It's still going to hurt.
It'll hurt, but it won't kill me.
So, I mean, look, I get what you're saying. The police are unpredictable.
The judge isn't going to say you've got a right to stand at the side of the road. Like, they're just going to...
The idea here is that the idea here is that you want to give the driver the information that they need to protect and defend themselves.
Sure.
Namely, this one document that is from the anarchistalternative.info, which basically goes through the similarities that the government has with the mafia. That's pages 1 and I think 2.
So I'm just going to make you a recommendation here as somebody who's done a lot of outreach, and I've actually approached drivers at their car while they were in the process of a pullover, meaning as the police officer is going back to his cruiser, I let the cop walk up to the window, get the person's ID, and as the cop's going back to the cruiser, I will offer the person in the car some information. Now, But you
have never pulled, that I know of, taken your car, seen a stop, pulled over to the side of the road, gotten out, and then gone to the other person's car?
I'm not going to say I haven't done that. I may have done something like that in the past. Certainly, I've done it with my friends. So if my friends have been pulled over and I've responded, I've definitely done it with them. But either way, I've certainly been on the scenes of countless pullovers, and I have provided information. There is a great Know Your Rights information card, which you can get at tools.freekeen.com. You can download it there, and you can have that printed up. That's got a great Know Your Rights just specifically for police victims, people who are being victimized by the police, which I give them that. It's not philosophy. It's not some sort of philosophical treatise. It's here's what you need to know. Don't talk to the cops. It runs down, a list of things that people ought to do. And I've never been threatened by an officer in the performance of this particular outreach. They've never batted an eye at me. I even got into a car with somebody once that was getting pulled over and hung out in the car with him for a while. Parker, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. That video's online on the Free Keen YouTube channel. I think if you search for Cop Blocker Gets Into Car or something like that, it'll probably come up. And that was pretty risky. Like, I felt like I was taking a fairly significant risk of, like, interfering with police business or something. But they didn't even say anything to me. One of the cops, it was 2 cops, one of the cops even came up to the passenger side window. It's not like they didn't know that I'd gone in there and done that. I'd never met this person before in my life. I didn't know who they were. Turned out he was a hairstylist or something like that. He owned his own hair salon in downtown Keene. He was very appreciative of the fact that I was there to provide support. But, you're right, Mark. I mean, this all depends on where you live. Some cops are going to behave differently than they do perhaps here in the Keene, New Hampshire area where they are used to police accountability activism. They may be a little bit more mellow about that sort of thing here. But all that said, I would think bringing out a load of body armor is going to escalate a situation.
Because they think that you're prepared for combat.
Right.
Well, yeah, and let's not forget that Congress outlawed felons in possession of body armor.
I don't think Parker's a felon. So
no, I'm not saying that's... But that gives you some insight as to how government people think about body armor. They think about body armor as, in some way, aggressive towards them.
They're going to see it that way.
Yeah.
Now, so I would recommend
I will point out
that
a felon that needs body armor for their line of work, whatever that might be, can get a note from their boss, and then that somehow mitigates the whole thing. It's crazy, but whatever.
Is that in all states or just federal?
I believe that's federal.
Okay. Check your local states.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
not responsible for your particular
Mark is not an attorney,
gang.
and this is not legal advice.
I'm not an attorney in your state, whatever the hell it is.
The toll-free number here, 855-450, free like freedom. You can join us on the radio. This is Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dillon Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dillon bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dillon bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dillon bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Dial on in toll free and bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Johnson, coming up, you've got the posts from Alex Jones, which some people are saying were the reason he was banned from Facebook and or iTunes and apparently YouTube and other sites, LinkedIn. We're going to get into that coming up here in a bit. It's Ian Johnson and Mark in the studio with you tonight. I do want to let you know about the Tom Woods podcast. A lot of libertarians got to know Tom Woods during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. Tom is a New York Times bestselling author and has written over a dozen books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. Since September of 2013, Tom has been putting out The Tom Woods Show every single weekday, which means he's racked up over 1,200 or approximately 1,200 episodes so far. Guests like Ron Paul, Judge Andrew Napolitano, David Stockman, and hundreds more, with topics including war, the Federal Reserve, net neutrality, the FDA, Austrian economics, and other subjects of interest to libertarians. Find The Tom Woods Show online at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher. As we continue with your calls and thoughts, let's go to Luke. He's in Vietnam. Luke, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, I'm calling up about police.
I'm sorry, are you on a speakerphone? Because it sounds awful.
Yeah. Sorry, is it better now or still bad?
No, I mean, it's not great. What did you have to... Is there any way you can take it off?
I think it's Skype. It the PSTN connection is a bit bad sometimes in America. Yeah, I'm caught up about police accountability and a massive free speech court victory that happened yesterday in Australia. Did that come through okay?
It's not so great. I'm going to put you on hold. You'll have to figure out some other way to get in touch with us. I'm struggling to understand what's being said. So I know if I'm having trouble...
You sound like you're calling from a tin can within another tin can.
In Australia.
Yeah, if I'm having trouble, I'm sure other people are having trouble. What I would recommend is that you get onto Discord at discord.lrn.fm. In fact, I happen to know you already have a Discord account, so there's no reason why you couldn't join the Discord on-air call-in line room and try us there, and then it'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio here with us. So the toll-free number here, if you want to join us, is 855-450-FREE, like Freedom. Johnson, did you want to get into the Alex Jones
Sure, let's get into
posts?
the Alex Jones posts.
And then you've got actually a different story about this lady named Candace Owens, who's recently was also suspended from Twitter. Now, did Twitter take down Jones? Because I don't think I heard anything about Twitter.
Yep.
Okay.
So let me burn through this real quick. This is from Pink News.
Was Twitter? I'm sorry to interrupt again. Was Twitter yesterday? Because I don't recall seeing that yesterday, or was it like weeks ago?
Yesterday.
Okay.
They took down like 5 different accounts.
Got it.
So this one here is from Pink News. It says Facebook bans InfoWars and Alex Jones after calls for drag queens to be burned alive. Notorious anti-LGBT conspiracy theory outlet InfoWars has been banned from Facebook for violating hate speech rules after calling for drag queens to be burned alive. The pro-Trump outlet is best known for outspoken conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, who pushes a large number of conspiracy theories to his online following via his InfoWars shows.
So first off, if Alex Jones is upset about trans people, drag queens generally aren't even that. They're performers, you know?
Well, it goes on to say here, Jones' shows often devolve into hate-filled rants, and on several occasions he has made extremist comments towards people who are transgender, Muslims, and immigrants. Facebook today announced that it had removed InfoWars from its platform for repeatedly breaching hate speech rules. The social media outlet said, "We believe in giving people a voice, but we also want everyone using Facebook to feel safe. It's why we have community standards and remove anything that violates them, including hate speech that attacks or dehumanizes others." Earlier today, we removed 4 pages belonging to Alex Jones for repeatedly posting content over the past several days that breaks those community standards. The 4 pages, Alex Jones channel page, Alex Jones page, the InfoWars page, and the InfoWars Nightly News page, have been unpublished for repeated violations of community standards and accumulating too many strikes. Facebook explained that hate speech was the motivator, while adding, while much of the discussion around InfoWars has been related to false news, which is a serious issue that we are continuing to address by demoting links marked wrong by fact checkers and suggesting additional content, none of the violations that spurred today's removals were related to this. Apple, Google, and Spotify have all taken action against InfoWars over the past few weeks over concerns about its extreme content. Let me just skip ahead here. Addressing drag performers on his show, he said, "We are going to destroy you. You will ascend into hell in reverse order. They now..."
This was drag queens he was talking to?
They now know
he goes
fear.
off about the craziest things like gay frogs and Capri Sun packages and God knows what.
Sounds to me like he just wants to dress in drag himself, and he's...
The quote continues, "They now know fear because we're coming like villagers in the night with the torches burning bright with fire. Fire is now the weapon of evil. Fire is the weapon of good, and it will consume you. You need to fear God. Your God has stolen your soul." He added, "Soon the icy cold of hell will embrace you forever. Soon you will pass through and on, never to return to this dimension, never to ascend, but down, 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 down to the black hole that you're going, chained."
Damn,
that's glorious.
Damn, that was
really
excellent.
Glorious.
That's very. It was really good. I didn't have my applause sound effect ready. But
well, I mean, to do a proper Alex Jones,
now hold on.
You have to speak. You have to
channel.
I don't understand why your shirt's still on.
I was.
Just rip it off.
I was busy kind of doing some tweaks on our Discord server so the guy could call in from Vietnam.
Sorry,
but so I missed a detail. Was this an on-air thing that he did, or was this a post that he wrote on Facebook that you were reading in his voice? I missed.
I believe this was on InfoWars in July. Jones called for drag queens to be burned alive. There is a link here. Let's go ahead and see where that goes. But I believe it's probably was part of an audio broadcast or a video broadcast that was posted on those platforms.
But this was one of the ones that was cited as reasons to take him down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like he just wants to feel a pair of silky panties on
Baraka here on our Discord says that Twitter did not take down AJ and that is fake news.
Oh.
Aha. All right. So Twitter's one of the only platforms where he still remains, apparently.
I mean, he has multiple accounts on these different platforms, so, I mean, it's fully plausible that one or two accounts remain, and several others have been taken down, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently, this whole thing was him going crazy over RuPaul's Corny the Unicorn cartoon was what spawned this insane rant.
I don't know what that is, but now I'm curious to find out. Thanks, Alex, for bringing that to my attention.
Well, if this is going to be how it is, then anybody who calls for the burning of drag queens, trans people, or gay people on the internet or any kind of violence against them needs to be banned, and that's going to be a lot of those ISIS mamma jammas.
Yeah. So just to continue describing what happened, because this is interesting. He's like, Alex Jones calls drag queens satanic beings who should be consumed by fire. Fringe conspiracist Alex Jones said drag queens are soul-sucked fallen slaves who should be burned alive. The alt-right host made the astonishing remarks during a video about Drag Tots, a kids show produced by RuPaul, also starring drag queens including Bianca Del Rio, Adore Delano, and Latrice Royale.
That were shaking their butts in front of toddlers and encouraging them to put money in their G-strings?
It's a cartoon. Jones, whose InfoWars YouTube channel has 2.3 million subscribers, said the show's characters were like demons and accused them of introducing children to satanic rituals. He then played viewers a clip of the show in which the school's mascot, Corny the Unicorn, who is voiced by RuPaul, teaches the kids how important reading is in drag culture. When it was over, the presenter launched back into his tirade, telling the audience, "Drag Tots is the sexualization of toddlers." He went on to call drag a celebration of hideousness before putting on a monstrous voice while pretending to be a drag queen, saying, "Your kids belong to us."
There's more on the way here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I just, I can't help imagining Alex Jones at like a drag review having way more fun than he would want you to believe that he would. There's more coming up here in moments. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at Zencash.com, Zencash.com.
Hi, I'm Patrick Kolbeck, and I'm running for governor. In the wake of the adoption of Common Core in 2010, Michigan's education system has been in a steady decline. In order to regain our former reputation for education excellence, we need to dump Common Core and get the feds and state government out of the classroom. We need to refocus education upon parents, teachers, and students. Under my service as governor, our schools will get the resources they need without any micromanagement of the classroom. Principled Solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Kolbeck for governor.
Hey, Dave, you in for golf this weekend?
Oh, I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you to the best pros for the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
From the day an ancient cave dweller painted yet another
elk hunt on a wall in 15,000 BC, to Gary Marshall's 1974 discovery of 13 weather-beaten North Dakotan coal miners that would go on to become the cast of Happy Days, The Onion looks back at This Week in History. On June 17, 1954, the effects of the previous month's historic Supreme Court ruling in Brown versus the Board of Education provided black students with the educational opportunity of experiencing racism firsthand in desegregated schools. Up until that point, African American pupils could only endure racial slurs and death threats in city streets or near their homes. And on June 24, 1784, 13-year-old Edward Warren took the first hot air balloon flight, becoming the first American to urinate on a crowd from 100 feet in the air. And that was what happened this week in history.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us on the radio. Take control of the airwaves at 855, 450, free like freedom. Apparently, Alex Jones is really fired up about transvestites, or no, not transvestites. Well, I'm sure he's mad about them too, but drag queens specifically. RuPaul apparently has some new animated series, which was called, what was it, Drag Tots?
Drag Tots, yes.
Drag Tots. And first I've heard of it. Now Jones, of course, is giving it even more publicity by going on a rant, tirade about it. And ostensibly, this is one of the posts that Facebook was citing when they claimed Jones was violating their hate speech rules against transvestites, against who else? Immigrants, I think they said.
Immigrants, Muslims.
And Muslims, yeah. So...
So later on in this same video, apparently Alex Jones once again imitated, using his sort of vampiric monster ways to imitate a drag queen while saying they were putting chemicals in the water to help with everything, and it's going to get a lot easier from here on out to bring down this third dimension. Well, it's not clear what dimension Jones thinks drag queens come from. We're going to destroy you, he continued. You will ascend into the hell in reverse order. But in most...
What?
I don't know. In the most alarming part of his rant, Jones called queens soul-sucked, fallen slaves before appearing to threaten them with death. They will know fear now because we're coming like villagers in the night with the torches burning bright with fire.
I doubt that.
Yeah. Oh, that he said that? Or?
No, I doubt that anybody's going to be coming with torches for the drag queens.
It's hard to get people together for a good torching of drag queens.
You really got to get them fired up for something.
Yeah.
I love how this article is juxtaposing this like Powerpuffs looking cartoon with an Alex Jones quote that's like, "Your God took away the key that you gave it, and now you stare into the fathomless depths of eternal phantom zone destruction, and you want to take as many children with you down that hole as you can, as you clutch their souls as you fall towards the black heart of that black hole." It's just
he has to practice this
all
stuff.
This because some guy wants to sing Cher while wearing a wig.
Yeah, I don't even want to go on with it. I mean, it's just he's just saying in May, apparently Jones said that the Pope was a demon-possessed creature who was as close as you're going to get to Satan in the flesh.
There are a lot of not just Protestants, but evangelicals that believe that in fact the Pope is the Antichrist. Now, I don't know which Pope is going to be the Antichrist, but they believe the Pope is going to be the Antichrist. Like that's where you should look.
Did Rogan ever get Jones to do DMT? That's what I want to know.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, so that's that. So clearly in my mind there are some very sound reasons why Jones may have been removed from those platforms, considering he's calling for a group of people to be set aflame. That just...
Well, it was all in good fun, right? No, or it was acting. He was just acting. He's playing a character. Well, regardless of whatever the excuse is, or maybe he's absolutely serious and he wants to incinerate people, regardless of what the excuse is, it's their platform. They have the right to set the rules. And if you don't like it, find a better platform.
Yeah.
We talked last night about some of the other options out there. Melanie seems to be a big fan of this Gab.ai site. I mentioned this Mastodon, which I know that the guys over at Think Penguin have been experimenting with.
There's MeWe.
What's this one? Is that the Chinese site?
I don't know. I was told about it today.
Okay.
What do I know?
There's a new one that I'm interested in just because
if I'm off of Twitter and Facebook, I'm off of social media. I'm just done.
There's a new one that I'm interested in because it looks like they actually have maybe some design chops. Vomvos.com.
Vomvos.
VOMVOS. I don't know what it is. It's not launched yet. It won't be launching for 3 weeks. So
what's the proposal? That they are more friendly to
to free speech,
offensive people?
Yep.
Well, that's going to blow up in their face. We ran the Free Talk Live BBS for some time, and that was just a handful of folks. Well, several large handfuls, bucketfuls of folks.
Yeah.
And
a couple hundred maybe.
Yeah, it was rough.
Active. What you're saying is it turned into an S show, basically.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
They
were showing things, and some of the things that they're showing was S.
Could very well have happened.
Yeah, their tagline is "Be Free" on their Facebook beta beginning in 3 weeks. They
be free. Okay.
Link here to Drudge about they got links about all the crackdowns and whatnot. I don't know exactly what their whole edge is going to be, but it looks more interesting. It's just free speech is a natural human right. Who decides what is fake news?
This is what they're saying?
Thing. Yeah. So,
what was it? Zimzam?
Vomvos. VOMVOS.
All right. Well, there you go.
We'll see.
That's yet another social media savior coming to the rescue.
They're calling themselves a free speech social media app.
Whatever happened to that Diaspora, the one that everybody was making a big old fuss about several years back? Remember that one? This was supposed to be the Facebook killer, and then there was another one that came along where people were trying to it was like a network marketing one where there was like a downline and some kind of crazy reward system. These are all just so unremarkable, and it's like, is there going to be something?
Google Plus couldn't take out
Facebook. Yeah, that's true.
And those ones that come along with all their fanfare, I mean, you need to do something different than what Facebook is doing.
Well, now
the ones that have beaten Facebook at their game have been things like Snapchat. And Instagram, and
now,
all
is
these
Snapchat
other
social media, or is that just you're sharing pictures with your friends?
How do you find friends?
I don't know.
I don't
ask
either.
Me. I sit in here on the radio with you guys.
I want nothing to do with this stuff, honestly. Yeah. I find Facebook useful because I run across every once in a while something that's useful on the air or
that was my
whatever.
Excuse for a long time. It was like, the needle in the haystack, right?
I don't have the problem with Facebook that you do.
Pile of coal. Yeah, but that was one of my excuses, Mark, was I was scrolling endlessly through Facebook, every however many hours I would scroll through it, I'd find some sort of useful thing for the show, and I would tell myself, boy, if I hadn't have been scrolling through all this other crap, I would never have found this story. But I may very well have anyway. Maybe I would have seen it on some other site or share it on our Discord chat. Sometimes our listeners will actually get into the Free Talk Live LRN.FM Discord, and they'll drop in stuff into our show prep Discord. There's different chat rooms in there, and sometimes they put some pretty cool show prep in there. So I think I've gotten more prep more often more useful prep more often from our Discord chat than I have by scrolling through on Facebook. So I can empathize with your excuse for continuing there. And the best excuse for me for a while was we have an amp group on there with about 300, 400 Free Talk Live former and current amplifiers, and that was my number one reason for staying for a long time. But eventually I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm out.
I feel that frustration.
My life is better for it. All right, Johnson, there's more. Not just about Jones, but about Twitter and takedowns.
I want
to
talk about Sarah Jeong.
Sarah Jeong. Now, you've been fired up about this lady, Mark. She's apparently one of the new editorial staff at the New York Times.
Right. She's a tech writer that's been promoted to the editorial staff.
And she said things like "kill all men," basically, on her Twitter.
She seems very specific that she dislikes white men.
And
but something like kill them.
A lottery for castrating them.
But didn't she say to kill them all or something like that at some point?
I don't know that kill was the right term, but she did
I've
talk
got a
about
collection of some of the horrible things she said in this article.
Glee at the idea that there is some kind of white genocide going on.
But the thing I want to mention here is Twitter has suspended Candace Owens' account from mimicking Sarah Jeong's racism. Candace Owens is actually somebody who I've been subscribed to on YouTube for some time. Well, she still has a YouTube channel anyway. She's known, I believe, on YouTube as Red Pill Black.
Okay.
So it goes on.
She's a black conservative commentator.
Yes.
Okay.
Twitter, the article here goes on to say, Twitter censors suspended the account of Turning Point USA Communications Director Candace Owens after she mimicked in her own tweets racist posts that were put out by Sarah Jeong, who was protected and defended by Twitter.
Yeah.
Truly, is there any doubt that doubt left that social media not only means left but also censors the right? This isn't just hypocrisy. This is Gestapo-like. Twitter slapped Turning Point USA Communications Director Candace Owens with a temporary suspension after she highlighted racist posts made by Sarah Jeong. Let me skip a little bit of this. Donald Trump Jr. made...
Yeah, I've seen people do, take these posts and then replace, white with black or Jewish or whatever in there, and then it looks horrifying, which, of course, it looked horrifying before, but you can really see it when you trade in another ethnic group.
Is that what Candace did? Was she changed the wording?
Yeah, there's some other stuff that she did, but yes.
Jeong's posts. All right, there's more on the way here in moments. So apparently the same exact posts with slightly different wording by a leftist were acceptable to Twitter.
Yeah.
There's more on the way here in moments. Hour 3's next. It's Free Talk Live.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free, money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Silver's trading at $15.44 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,214 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $24, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,101. Antiwar.com reports, speaking on Fox News Sunday, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton denied that the U.S. government had at all been involved in the reported Saturday assassination attempt in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas. There were conflicting reports on what happened, but the government reported 7 National Guard soldiers were injured by a pair of drone-like devices that carried explosives. They believe this was a failed attempt to assassinate Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was unharmed. Firefighters at the scene said there was no attack at all, and the explosion was from a gas tank inside an apartment near the parade. Maduro had blamed the Colombian government for the attack, and arrests were made. Bolton said it was a pretext set up for the regime itself or something else, covering all possible bases. He added that if Venezuela had any hard information of U.S. involvement, the administration would take a serious look at it. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports after half a decade of declining attendance since the release of a controversial documentary, Blackfish, SeaWorld's troubles might be over. The company announced on Monday a near 5% jump in attendance in the second quarter. In addition to the 4.8% jump in attendance to 6.4 million people, SeaWorld said Monday total revenue increased by $18.2 million, or 4.9% in the second quarter. Net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Interim CEO John Riley said the results were driven by our new strategic pricing strategies, new marketing and communications initiatives, and the positive reception of our new rides, attractions, and events. The company has come under fire in recent years after Blackfish offered a critical look at the amusement park's treatment and breeding of its famed killer whales, or orcas. CEO Joel Manby stepped down in February after SeaWorld lost more than $200 million in fiscal year 2017. In March 2016, the company announced it stopped breeding orcas and that those under its care would be the last generation of the animal kept in its water parks. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal court on Monday ruled that the Trump administration could not enforce an updated policy barring certain transgender individuals from serving in the U.S. military, becoming the second court in the country to rule against the federal government since it unveiled the policy in March. President Donald Trump announced on March 23rd that he would endorse a plan by Defense Secretary Jim Mattis that restricts military service of transgender people who experience a condition called gender dysphoria. The policy replaced an outright ban on transgender service members that Trump announced last year on Twitter, citing concerns over military focus and medical costs. U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Kettley in Washington denied a request by the administration to lift an injunction she had issued against Trump's original ban. Her ruling followed one by a federal judge in Seattle who in April also refused to allow the new policy to go into effect. The federal government had appealed that ruling to the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration argued that the new policy, which also bars anyone who requires or has undergone gender transition, transition was no longer a categorical ban. Caller Kettley disagreed and in Monday's ruling said the new policy effectively implements the original ban by targeting proxies of transgender status such as gender dysphoria and gender transition, and by requiring all service members to serve in their biological sex. The American Psychiatric Association defines gender dysphoria as a clinical significant distress due to a conflict between a person's gender identity and their sex assigned at birth. Not all transgender individuals suffer from gender dysphoria. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Shortly after beginning his first date with area woman Pauline Geary, smitten local man Brad Holtman told Onion reporters he couldn't believe that the woman was also a fan of the 1960s British rock band, the Beatles.
We were just talking about music, and she mentioned that she liked the Beatles, which is crazy because I love the Beatles, actually. Yeah, funny thing is, I was not really even looking forward to the date. I figured we get a drink or whatever, but it's turning out a lot cooler than I thought it was going to. I mean, she's just such a huge fan. She knows all the Beatles names. She even owns some of their albums. I've been a Beatles fan since like 6th or 7th grade, so I don't want to get too excited and jump into something. So I think I'm going to ask her if she's ever seen The Godfather, which is probably my top 5 movies of all time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program here. Tonight, you can take control of the airwaves and bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE. We're talking about the attacks against the bans against Alex Jones and others. Not just Alex Jones. Apparently, a black conservative commentator has been targeted recently as well. And Johnson, you're telling us about what happened to Candace Owens, and she was trying to make a point, apparently, and she did. Or I guess Twitter made the point for her by taking her account down after she had tweeted some things that were apparently designed to be very similar to what the New York Times editor Sarah Jeong had also tweeted. Yeah. And apparently Sarah Jeong was not taken down for similar tweets. You're telling us about that. We can get into that. Your calls and thoughts also welcome. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. But we're going to go to the phones first before we continue the story, where we've actually got on our Discord on-air call-in line, which we now have 3 of, by the way. So on line 2, we've got Destroy the World calling from Michigan. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about a sort of business idea I had and some other things. But first off, this is sort of a business proposition I'd like to make with the LRN studio or whatever to probably promote it. Okay. And I figured doing it on the air wouldn't be bad. So
it depends.
I figure like
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, first off, everybody talking about guns, violence, and I've had a simple solution for years, which is developing some non-lethal weapons. And I've got an idea for one that could actually stop working guns.
How does that work? Like, do you melt them or something? Like, how would you stop a working gun?
Well, it would cover them in something that would make them inactive, basically.
Okay. Some kind of goo, like you shoot it at the gun itself, basically.
Yep, at the gun, or you could even cover the perpetrator with it.
I see.
To end his movement and to stop death.
Interesting. Now, would this be marketed towards the police as something that they could use to preserve life?
Marketed primarily towards Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, what it would be marketed towards would be everybody, first off. I want it to be completely open market so that police could buy it or a person could buy it.
I see.
In the end, I want it to be, in the end game, which would be 10, 15 years from now, I would want it to be in a kiosk located, within your neighborhood to where nobody could ever, lack defense, basically.
So somebody could just go and grab this, sort of like an armory, like back in the day. Yep. You're in New England. They have the armory, the town armory, where people could go and arm up and defend the town.
Giant cans of great stuff.
So, I mean, are you an inventor? Are you like a chemist? Do you have the chops to...
No, that's what I need help for is the chemistry, but I do have some experience in inventing things.
Okay.
And
we just need fields and fields of those genetically modified spider silk goats.
I'm not familiar with a spider silk goat.
Oh, yeah. So they've modified these goats with so that their milk secretes spider silk in their milk, and you can extract the spider silk from it to make like spider silk body armor is like a new kind of thing. This has been a thing that's been going on for the past decade or so that they've been doing this. But I was thinking maybe you do something like that and mix it with like that expanding spray foam that they put for insulation.
Mm-hmm.
And just make that into some sort of exploding can of spider silk foam, and you're done. There you
go. Yeah.
All right, so what was your other idea? I don't know if there's really anything we can help besides just listening and saying, oh, okay, cool. I mean, because we're not investors.
Well, you see, you could be, because if you could help promote my idea and my payment method, then I could cut you in on
Well, we have advertising for that. So, anybody that's got an idea they want to buy advertising can reach out to Mark at freetalklive.com, but of course, that would take money from some sort of venture capitalist or investor firm.
I can't imagine how large this self-defense item would be, because I've used cans of Great Stuff in the past, and you can make something. A can of Great Stuff will make something about the size of 2/3 of a 5-gallon bucket. So it gets bigger than the can, but it doesn't get a whole bunch bigger than the can.
Well, this would require some new kind of thing, a newer, more great stuff.
Well, I also think that if you could, you could make something successfully if you could get the chemistry right to stop somebody instantly like that. You'd also have a market for, like from the movie Demolition Man. There's a product called Secure Foam where Stallone is in a car, he gets in a car accident, the car instantly turns into a cannoli, and he's stopped immediately by his car filling up with this foam that freezes into almost seems like styrofoam. Immediately, and he has to punch his way out.
Now, what about
that same kind of stuff would work?
What about something you're probably going to have to cross as far as a bridge when you're designing this is how do you prevent this person from not suffocating while they're in the midst of this
or being taken advantage of?
Yes, I have an idea for different types of rounds for different situations. So, but like I said, one of them would act sort of as a net. So that there are breathable holes for all things.
Well,
but,
I think you need some kind of prototype before. I mean, that's generally what happens with these Kickstarter type things or whatever. You're able to show a video of something happening that says, hey, look, we just need money to go into production here. And if you put this, this kind of investment or that kind of thing.
So you're saying do a crowdfund rather than go to venture capital?
Well, I'm trying to stay as free as possible. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I know that's why I wanted to do it sort of as anonymously and as free as possible.
Well, crowdfunding will give you the opportunity to, basically you're taking people's money for pre-orders is all it is.
The difficulty though of being anonymous is if you want people to support you, you kind of have to be the front man for it. You kind of have to show.
There's always crypto.
Work with crypto. Work with Cody Wilson. Maybe get it somehow 3D printed. So you manufacture your own. You make your own Judge Dredd style lawgiver, where you can voice control and select the different rounds.
I think it's a better idea than wearing body armor and approaching the cops. So I think it's of the ideas that we've been presented with tonight, I think it's probably the better one. But what else did you want to share tonight? Because we're short on time for you. Go ahead.
Okay. Second idea is probably pretty controversial, so I figured I wanted to see if you guys wanted to give me permission to complete it, because I know you all are about free speech, but it's about a weapon that anyone could develop in their own home and use to harm many, and that's just to keep up with my name,
which is destroy the world. Here on our Discord chat.
Well, the Anarchist Cookbook hasn't been banned yet, so
yes, exactly. This is something that's not in there.
Okay, so you've got some sort of weapon of mass destruction idea that you want to
make out of Drano and
put out there,
and kitty litter.
It's sort of like well, it's really simple because I've done, like I said, I've dabbled in inventing. And I've been trying to figure out how could one single person cause the most problem. And then I came up with the idea of virusing. And I developed a method into where I could make cultures of viruses from myself and implement them to other people.
This sounds like really scary.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
And
Yes,
dangerous,
it is
and I
very
can't possibly
horrifying.
get behind something like that. But
It's
No,
too
I'm not behind
indiscriminate.
it at all.
self-defense, I'm in favor of that. But just eliminating populations, that sounds like a pretty bad idea.
As
Destroy the world.
as a disclaimer, I'm not behind it at all. Like I say, it was years ago something I came up with in the vein of being a supervillain, trying to come up with an idea for. I was
So I was
not
on the
for
right
myself,
track
it
with my
was-
comic book references to you then.
Yes, exactly. Because I was actually in the process of drawing a comic book, and that was the thing.
Destroy the world.
And
Thank
my
you. I want
hero-
to thank you for the call. It was a great call, and feel free to call in with more of your ideas in the future. I appreciate hearing from you tonight on
Keep
our
that
Discord
guy
line.
away from yogurt makers and CRISPR gene editing kits.
Right. This is the thing, the CRISPR, right? I want to talk about this so much. Johnson, what's the CRISPR?
It's like a gene. You can actually order your own gene editing kit at home.
Right, it's a
to
gene
alter
editing
your
kit.
own DNA.
You can make your own bacteria and stuff like that. And people are worried about a 3D printed single shot gun.
Yeah. All right. We got more coming up here. And by the way, that Discord call sounded great. If you want to sound like that, jump on our Discord server, hop into our on-air call-in lines. We now have more than one waiting for you at discord.lrn.fm. Free Talk Live.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
We are back with more Free Talk Live. Plenty of time for you to dial in here and bring up what you want. You can call toll-free at 855-450-FREE. 855-450-3733, or jump into one of our on-air call-in lines on our Discord server over at discord.lrn.fm. Ron Paul is coming back to Anarchapulco. He was there this year for the very first time, and Mark, you and I were attending and broadcasting from Anarchapulco this year.
Yeah, it was a great event.
And it was great the year before that, but this year it was a sold-out event, and that means they're expecting next year to also be sold out. And I imagine Ron Paul's a factor in them selling out this event, but also I think a factor is because the word's gotten around. Anarchapulco is basically an amazing libertarian gathering. It's, in fact, not just libertarians, but voluntarists, free thinkers, anarcho-capitalists, the largest gathering of those kind of people that you will find on the planet. It's happening next year, February 14th through the 19th at, of course, Acapulco, Mexico. A beautiful resort, world-class resort. It's just an absolutely splendid location. And you'll love the lineup of speakers, which has been announced. There's a few headliners announced already. Ron Paul, Judge Napolitano, Doug Casey, Larkin Rose, and likely dozens more to still be announced. You can get 15% off your tickets because you're a Free Talk Live listener, and that is, I believe, the first time a discount has been offered. So you can get over there at anarchapulco.com. Use code FTL like Free Talk Live to get your 15% off your tickets. Again, it's February 14th through the 19th, 2019. We will look forward to seeing you there because Free Talk Live will be broadcasting from the event once again. Anarchapulco.com, code FTL. As we continue here, we've been talking about the takedowns targeted against Alex Jones and others. Apparently, a black conservative lady columnist or commentator of some sort has been targeted by Twitter. Johnson's got that story. We just kind of started to scratch the surface. We'll get back into it. But first, we go to Otto, who is on the line in Minnesota on our Discord call-in line. Go ahead, Otto.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, you're on the air.
Doing?
Good.
All right, so I kind of wanted to talk about, anarchy, all that stuff, and I think it's kind of regressive where we're hitting with that.
Where we're hitting with what? I'm not clear on what you're saying.
We're hitting with anarchy. I don't know.
I'm not an anarchist. Are you?
No.
Okay.
I don't agree with it whatsoever.
With anarchy?
No.
Okay. Is anybody here an anarchist?
Yes.
Okay, Johnson's an anarchist. So Otto disagrees with anarchy. Do you want to say anything more specific about why you disagree with it?
It causes regressive behavior.
And what is regressive behavior?
Regressive behavior. You want to throw our, political system into a whirlwind, right? You don't believe in kind of where we are right now. Am I correct on this?
Well, heck, I don't believe in that either.
You do?
That was a question for you, Otto.
Do I?
You like where our political system is?
You know what? No, but I don't believe in a total overthrow and collapse, right? That's kind of like, do you know who James Mason is?
No, I'm not familiar.
Do you believe in an overthrow, Johnson?
Is he a guy with a podcast?
Johnson,
no, James Mason, I'm pretty sure was shot.
Johnson, do you believe in an overthrow of the current government? Is that what you want to see happen?
No, not particularly.
Okay, so you guys are both against an overthrow. Johnson, how would you like to see anarchy come about then?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin?
I mean, I don't know. I just think the market should just slowly overtake and dismantle the government through privatization of, basically sell it off. Sell off all parts of the government, gradually if possible, but I don't necessarily think that that's going to be...
So you're saying you want to see a total paradigm shift to where the government wants to get rid of itself?
Not where the government wants to get rid of itself. Because
you're not going to be able to come in and sell it.
Yeah, no.
They're not going to just let you in and be like, okay, Johnson, you can just go ahead and sell it.
I think it's where it either becomes irrelevant, like competition springs up, people stop utilizing government services, people stop paying for government services, and I think the first thing that needs to happen is that we need to end, and it would be fine if the Republicans did this, but shut down public schools. That's the first problem.
Otto, your thoughts?
So when you plan to do all this, what do you plan to do when it does collapse and, shit ultimately...
Oh, you can't say that on the radio. We unfortunately have to drop you out of that. You can't say the S word.
So, anarchist, what are your plans for destroying society?
When the SHTTF scenario occurs and the Wolverines come out and, guns and...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as what you did say, though, Johnson, it sounded like maybe the agorist primer that you were sort of citing there, the idea that I think it was Carl, who was the guy that wrote the agorist primer? Carl somebody. Anyway, the guy who's known for founding agorism, which is the idea of what you were saying is to sort of outcompete the state, to create competing entities like a competing security force, to outcompete the police, a competing road crew or something like that. So you already got that with Domino's going around fixing the roads, but ultimately competing with the police, competing with the courts, that's going to get you arrested in most jurisdictions as essentially a competing gang or an unlicensed security apparatus. So,
well, I mean, I think you need things like the Free State Project to, take government out in a particular area to start setting an example.
So you're saying work within the system? Work within the system to take the government.
I think it's got to be a combination of both, to be honest. I mean, I think that's the only way it's ever going to work, is that you need multiple directions. I mean, the state is just too big and too pervasive. And again, I think the first thing that needs to happen in order to wake people up from this idiocy that's going on right now is the fact that the school system you've got this indoctrination program going on with like rewriting history and dumbing people down with it's just
I 100% agree with that. The government runs a 13-year indoctrination program, and then people complain about other people's children. For God's sake, your government that you voted for the last 2 centuries has had an indoctrination center teaching these kids for 13 years, and they suck as human beings. That's a high-level indication that your government sucks. Like, something that's as important as educating a child, you leave to the most inefficient organizational model the world has ever seen, the state. And then you're like, well, I just don't understand why we've got so many societal problems. Well, for God, duh.
I was reminded by H. Reardon in our Discord chat that it's Samuel Edward Konkin III. That was the person who wrote the treatise on agorism, again suggesting that at some point the market will just outcompete the state and the state will wither away and die, which is a wonderful vision. It's just, it's hard to see that becoming a reality where we currently are. And especially with the level of agorism that we've seen so far, which has ultimately been nothing more than, a couple guys making some pizzas without government permission, and a few food-related kind of agorist ventures, that most of which haven't lasted much more than a few weeks.
So I thought this sounded familiar, that caller bringing up James Mason. I knew the name was familiar from, old-timey government. James Mason was the introducer of the Fugitive Slave Act, a real class act. That guy, making sure to return the runaway slaves. So that was his contribution.
We're going to continue here. Your calls and thoughts are welcome. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733 if you want to do it the old-style way on the telephone. And then new style, you can sound almost like you're sitting in the studio with us on our Discord on-air call-in lines, which are open for you on the Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. You can grab their app or just use their web version. You can do that too. More on the way. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Don't worry about things you can't control. Isn't that what they always say? But it's about impossible to avoid worrying about what's going on these days. The government has used the war on guns, the war on drugs, and the war on terrorism to tear our Bill of Rights to shreds. But you can fight back. The 10th Amendment Center has proven it, racking up major victories. For example, when the U.S. government claimed authority in the NDAA to have the military kidnap and detain Americans without trial, the nullifiers got a law passed in California, declaring the state's refusal to ever participate in any such thing. Their latest project is offnow.org, nullifying the National Security Agency. They've already gotten model legislation introduced in California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, meant to limit the power of the NSA to spy on Americans in those states. We'd be fools to wait around for the U.S. Congress or courts to roll back Big Brother. Our best chance is nullification and interposition on the state level. Go to offnow.org, print out that model legislation, and get to work nullifying the NSA. The hero Edward Snowden has risked everything to give us this chance. Let's take it. Offnow.org.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us on the radio waves. Take control of the airwaves and do it toll-free at 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You want to save big time on your purchases at Amazon. How about saving 20% every single purchase you make? That's the way I do it. Sometimes I want to save more than 20% because I'm not in a hurry. If there's something that I don't really care whether I get it tomorrow or a month from now, I'll put it in. It's 33% off, which is the maximum discount you can get. And sometimes it does take a few weeks to snag 33%, but I'll almost every time I've tried, it's gone through if I've waited long enough. Sometimes I get in a bit of more of a hurry, and I'll reduce it down to 25% or something like that, and then it goes faster. Usually if you do 20%, in my experience, somebody's going to snap that up within a day.
Faster.
Yeah. Usually within hours, but definitely within the first day.
My wife did 20%, and before I could tell her, like she just told me I just listed it at 20%, I typed back 20, do it at 25.
You said raise it, yeah,
raise it to 25, and it was already picked up.
Too fast for you in that
so
case.
20% savings is nearly immediate.
Yeah, it's amazing. SaveItPurse.com makes it possible. The key is, and the catch is, you have to use cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, BTC, or Bitcoin Cash. Now, Save It Purse is accepting Bitcoin Cash as its deposit cryptocurrency. So that's how you do it. You don't get to use your credit card to save this kind of big money. The person who's buying the item for you on Amazon, they might be using their credit card, but ultimately they're paying a premium on top so they can get your Bitcoin. That's what's happening behind the scenes is your Bitcoin's going on a marketplace, and somebody who really wants Bitcoin, somebody who really wants to pay a whole lot for Bitcoin is willing to do that. And maybe it's because it keeps them more anonymous or something like that. I'm not sure what their motivations are, but they're there and they do it. So go to SaveItPurse.com, SaveATPurse.com as we go to your calls and thoughts. More about the Twitter takedowns here in moments and the hypocrisy of it, as Johnson has been reporting. We got Karen, though, in Rhode Island. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Karen. Karen? Sounds like somebody with a problem with their phone. You all right there? Karen going once? Karen
you know what I
twice.
hate, Ian? I hate how you censor callers.
Huh?
This person obviously has something important to say. You just hung up on them.
No, I didn't. I actually kept their line open, and I gave them a chance. I thought there was some sort of phone issue going on there. I didn't know if that was like somebody playing a silly noise or...
Sounds like a TV on in the background, or wind from a car being translated into crazy digital noise.
There's only so much time that we can put, noise on the air, though. So make sure you're in a quiet place, preferably when you call talk radio.
Speaking of horrible digital noise, do you want me to continue with the story about Sarah Jung?
Yeah, recap briefly. Sarah Jung, she's the new editor, one of the editors, editorial page.
Yeah, of her editorial
the New York
staff
Times.
for New York Times.
She said some very offensive things on Twitter.
Yep. So I'd like to get into one of those things.
One of the things she said.
Apparently remains undeleted, which is interesting, even though she's not been suspended, and the tweets that she said remain undeleted, one of which is, and I have to censor myself, dumbass effing white people marking up their internet with their opinions like dogs peeing on fire hydrants. And she didn't say peeing. Another
or effing.
Yeah, or effing.
She said the full word.
The full words, and the tweet is still up. Meanwhile, Owens did receive a temporary suspension as well as an order to delete her tweets using precisely the same language as Jung, swapping Jewish people for white people.
Mm-hmm.
Owens even clarified in the tweet itself that she was repeating Jung's statements, not making an original statements of her own. Twitter still banned her.
Wow.
The tweet, it says, "Hi, Candace Owens, your account at Real Candace O has been locked for violating Twitter rules. Specifically, you violated a rule against hateful content. You might not promote violence or harass other people, etc., etc., etc."
Can you read the statement as she posted it?
Yeah. Jewish people are BS, like dogs peeing on fire hydrants. Hashtag cancel Jewish people. Are Jewish people genetically disposed to burn faster in the sun? The above statements are from at New York Times editors at Sarah Jung. I simply swapped out the word white.
Wait, where was
Jewish.
the effing word? I thought the word effing was in there previously.
There's multiple different tweets
I see.
from her. She just kind of mishmashed them together.
Yeah, there's like this lady, this Jung lady that got promoted to
There's
the
a lot of different
New York Times editorial board.
Yeah,
is a rabid racist.
Rabid.
I mean, that's all I can say. I've read this stuff. I've looked at it, and she is.
Isn't she white?
No, she's
Jung. She's ethnically South Korean. I don't know where.
Those people look white to me.
She was. What's that?
South Koreans. They look pretty white.
They're
Asian. They're heavily Asian looking.
Okay, but They look
dark,
white.
like tan. No, they do not look.
They're
white.
called yellow man. I don't know what the reason why that one would call them that. They don't.
Yeah, they
yellow
don't look
to me.
yellow.
They
don't look black. They don't look
supposedly
brown.
there's a cocatin in their skin, which gives them a yellow hint. I don't know. I don't study race. It's not interesting to me.
Almost identical to Japanese people. And
I would presume that they burn in the sun. You know, but
I mean, they're Asian for sure, but like, it looks white to me.
Are you trying to make sense of the ramblings of a bigot? Is that what you're trying to do here?
No,
I mean, I could see if you were saying that a lot of Jewish people look white because a lot of
They
Jewish
do.
people
Ashkenazis.
are Ashkenazi
I don't.
Jews look
I
very
frankly
white.
can't. You can't tell the difference between the vast majority of Ashkenazi Jews and white people.
Like,
there's
or
a
European.
There's a tendency between. There's a tendency towards curly hair. Yeah. That's about it.
But South Koreans, you're not making that mistake. That's like you're gonna say they're Asian. I mean, like,
no.
He's talking about the color.
I'm talking about
of their
color.
Skin.
Oh,
So-
in terms of light skin, no, they're light.
I
there's
can
a
identify
variety.
somebody when they're brown. I can identify somebody when they're black, and there's different
It's
shades.
just like
of,
Japan and China. There's shades of Asian as well.
Are
There's
there?
lighter skin and darker
Okay, so
skin
Asian is a color?
In China, it's actually they are very kind of like prejudiced against dark skin in China.
Mhm.
They really want to have light skin over there. It's
I've
like a
heard that's
thing.
true in the Philippines as well.
Yeah, very possibly. I don't know about Japan or the Koreas, but
Because I
at
can
any
tell you,
rate,
those girls in those
who
Korean pop
cares?
groups look pretty white to me.
I don't care. Skin color doesn't matter. And what's interesting, Candace
Her skin
Owens
color
here
is
says,
certainly not dark.
I would just like to ask her, how does she
John. She's
describe
not
her
here.
skin?
Give her a ring.
I know that. I'm saying on the air, I'd like to ask her, if she's so anti-white, does she want to go make herself darker? Because
well, you
she
have
seems...
a Twitter account. Her Twitter is @SarahJeong.
Yeah, invite her to call into Free Talk Live.
Sure.
Yeah, matter of fact, make her a guest.
Yeah.
Bring her on because I would love to know. I tend to think that maybe this is the internet blowing up some stupid tweets or whatever, but there's just so many of them. I don't really get it. And then I just want to hear. I want her to tell me that I am a plague on society because of the color of my skin.
Candace Owens says, I actually
Because I don't believe that. Anybody who thinks that the color of your skin is indicative as to whether or not you
insane.
should live or die or any of these things is a rambling nut job.
Yeah,
and the
she's
idea that the New York Times...
She's a racist at the level of Chris Cantwell,
The
basically.
idea that the New York Times would give a job to somebody, I mean, like, she can say all these things. If she said any of this stuff about any other race but white people and gender but men and sexuality but heterosexuality, she would be strung up. Think about how many people have lost their jobs in media. Lost them, never to return because of some insensitive remark. Look at Roseanne talking about that lady's haircut, and because she said Planet of the Apes and the lady was partially black, that somehow that was the issue. Now, best I can tell, Roseanne says she didn't even know the lady was black. She just was making fun of her haircut. But Roseanne's show is canceled as a result, and this isn't the only example of this.
Candace Owens says she agrees with Twitter in a comment to Breitbart News. These tweets are an example of hateful conduct. It begs the question, why was it okay when the hate was directed at white people?
Yeah.
Why are her tweets still up? In every way imaginable, Twitter has just proved my point. Racism in this country has been sanctioned against white people, and this is coming from her, who is
She's
a
black.
woman.
Right.
And this Sarah Jeong is just making all these hateful comments against white men.
There's more coming up here in moments. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450.
I want to read the New York Times statement about this.
They've made a statement.
Oh,
All right. We'll share that coming up here in moments. Your calls and thoughts also welcome in the remaining moments of Free Talk Live, which are coming up next. And you can join us on our Discord at discord.lrn.fm.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years. From My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain here. Enough time for you. If you get on the line with us now, our number 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian
and Johnson
and Mark.
As we continue, we're going to get back into, Johnson, you've got the New York Times response or some sort of statement that they've made regarding the controversy surrounding their new editor, Sarah Jeong. Who has said some very offensive things on Twitter.
And they would never say this for any other group for the most part. I don't believe at all that if Sarah Jeong was a white male, that they would be making this statement at all.
They wouldn't have hired her in the first place.
Yeah, so we're going to read that for you, and also you're welcome to join us online over at freetalklive.com. We got a Twitch channel where you can watch the show, and we're live, and we are live all 7 nights per week, 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time. You'll get a notification if you go to our Twitch channel at twitch.lrn.fm, and you click follow on our channel, then you'll get notices whenever we go live. That way you can get a little handy reminder either in your email box or if you've got the Twitch app on your smart device. So check us out over at twitch.lrn.fm. We'll get to the New York Times statement coming up. But first, Kirby is on the line in Indianapolis. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Kirby.
Hey, good morning, fellas. I'm going to try and be brief.
All right.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous or not. I say that because America was built on chattel slavery and genocide. It has yet to address that. It has yet to try and make amends. And until it does, let me be specific, until white America owns up to the fact that it built this country on someone else's back and never made any attempt to right that wrong, this is going to continue.
So let's talk about this. So are we talking about reparations?
No, not necessarily, because I know what reparations would do. Not so much an acknowledgement, but for instance, Germany, if you get caught with a German battle flag, you go under the jail.
Right.
They have zero tolerance.
Yeah, they don't have any. You can't have a Nazi flag in Germany, but they don't have a First Amendment either.
No, and that is correct, and we do, and I understand and respect other people's right to hate me because of the color of my skin. But if there are places in Indiana where I had better not be got at 9:30 at night, and it's like that in all 50 states.
Did you say Indiana?
Indiana.
I'm sorry, I thought you said India. I'm like, no, Indiana. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about India.
So wait, what are you proposing?
I can't go through what I'm proposing that we have a national conversation where black people, white people, red people can sit down and have this conversation. But what we have is a president who reinforces that racist garbage. And the Sarah Young woman you were speaking of, this is simply the hate that hate made.
Yep.
When you mistreat a human being for so long, at some point, that human being and others who do not look like him, who look like the oppressor, are going to wake up and say, hey, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my ancestors did this. They were foul.
Well, in the case of Ms. Jiang, my ancestors quite literally went over there and fought and gave their lives to protect Ms. Jiang's family's way of life, to prevent them from being overrun by the communists on my ancestors' dollar.
So I got a different take on this. So I think that all racism and all isms in general, like fascism and socialism, are all coming from a root source called collectivism. That is when you take and you prioritize a group over an individual. And I think what we have is, in any system, under any of this form of government, right, you have a government which is oppressing individual people. And it doesn't matter, like, if you in any one of these groups, it's always going to devolve into one group hating another group, when it's always about a group and taking from people.
But you're wrong, brother. You're wrong, brother, because you can walk through my neighborhood and not get accosted. I cannot go walk through. For instance, when I was 12 years old, I'm still in the neighborhood I grew up in. I was 2 miles from where I'm at now. 12 years old, 1972, riding my bicycle. And all of a sudden, white people came out on the porch, and I don't even know if I can use the word.
Then don't.
Please
don't. Then
don't. Okay.
We just use the first letter.
They came out on the porch and in.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 12 years old.
Yeah, it's awful.
These are 30+ year old men chasing us down the street with baseball bats.
Yep.
That's horrifying.
Do you not think that still carries with me today?
That's
I'm sure
horrifying.
it does.
But Johnson's not wrong. Those are individuals who did that to you.
Yeah, those are individuals who did that to you, not all white people. And we don't need to flip the script and make the opposite true now. We don't need to make all the racism against white people happen. What happened to you should not be repeated against white people.
Okay, look at Peppermint Patty, Pool Patrol Paul. Look at all the white people who right now will call the police just because they see a black guy or gal.
Sick.
And they don't want them there. They call the police, and the police are their agents. They are their petty rollers.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, is the sickness.
Well, okay,
I'm agreeing with you.
I'd like to talk about this a little bit. You said the hate that hate made, and I think that that's absolutely true. But you have to understand that like hate is individualized. So when I was in prison, relatively early to me moving in, some guy told me that I was going to clean his room. So a black man told me I was going to clean his room for him, and I said, "Oh no, I'm not." He slapped me like I stole something. I mean, like quite seriously, punched me in my chest to where he broke my sternum, and he called me a cracker. Now, the worst thing that happened to me there wasn't being called a cracker, but it does show that he was at the very least thinking about my race when he said, I'm not saying he's a racist, but he was thinking about my color, and it was an easy thing for him to talk about because I didn't want to play his game. Now, I could choose to hold all black people responsible for that act, or I could say that was the actions of one man named British Moss. Okay. And that's what it was.
And here I am, the descendant of slaves. Let's make that clear. When you see black people, unless they're continental Africans, they're the descendants of slaves. We understand that in a visceral way. And until... we do not feel safe in most places in America.
I think that's true.
And I can't make other white people understand it. Here I am. I'm a guy who tries to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I try to treat everybody the way I want to be treated. But then I see these small slights. I mean, for instance, I can go to work and there are white people at my job who have seen me every day for the last 7 years. I speak to them every day, and they turn their head every day and will not respond. It is difficult for black people to think that because he had enough balls, honestly, to express himself, that the rest of you don't think like he does. Do you understand that?
What was the last statement? No. I don't understand.
When black people see a racist, out and out racist,
okay,
we find it very difficult to believe that 99% of the rest of white people do not feel like this guy. He just had the gumption to express it.
Well, I don't know what would make you think that beyond whatever experiences you've had in your life.
What does one have to do as a for a white person, for you to believe that a white person isn't a racist? What does that white person have to do?
That comes with experience with that person.
So you start out believing they're racist.
That person.
So you start out believing.
I start off believing that 9 times out of 10 that it is in the back of your mind, and it is in the back of everyone's mind because
I think race exists in people's minds. Yes, absolutely. They think about it.
We were taught this, and it's as American as apple pie and baseball.
Well, I can tell you what obviously I'm not a black person. Kirby, we're out of time for tonight, but thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I can tell you that when I was growing up, I didn't, the black people I knew did not have that experience that he had. There was one black guy in my entire school as I was growing up in Florida, and he got along, seemed like, with everybody. I never heard anything about any kind of racist anything being directed towards him. Anyway, so everybody's got their own individual experience. We're out of time for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow online in the meantime. freetalklive.com.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Silver's trading at $15.44 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,214 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $24, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,101. Antiwar.com reports, speaking on Fox News Sunday, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton denied that the U.S. government had at all been involved in the reported Saturday assassination attempt in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas. There were conflicting reports on what happened, but the government reported 7 National Guard soldiers were injured by a pair of drone-like devices that carried explosives. They believe this was a failed attempt to assassinate Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was unharmed. Firefighters at the scene said there was no attack at all, and the explosion was from a gas tank inside an apartment near the parade. Maduro had blamed the Colombian government for the attack, and arrests were made. Bolton said it was a pretext set up for the regime itself or something else, covering all possible bases. He added that if Venezuela had any hard information of U.S. involvement, the administration would take a serious look at it. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports after half a decade of declining attendance since